Welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Stephen Van Eiderstein, and welcome back for the daily reading from James Allen's Daily Reader. This is for January 3rd, and after I read the daily reading from this book, I will go ahead. I'll give my observations or my understandings from it. Again, I haven't read this, so it's all fresh to you and to me. So here we go. January 3rd. If one would find peace, he must come out of passion. So long as animal conditions taste sweet to a man, he cannot aspire. He is so far satisfied. But when their sweetness turns to bitterness, then in his sorrow he thinks of nobler things. When he is deprived of earthly joy, he aspires to the joy which is heavenly. It is when impurity turns to suffering that purity is sought. Truly, aspiration rises, phoenix-like, from the dead ashes of repentance, but on its powerful pinions, man can reach the heaven of heavens. The man of aspiration has entered the way which leads to peace, and surely he will reach that end if he stays not nor turns back. If he consistently renews his mind with glimpses of the heavenly vision, he will reach the heavenly state. That which can be conceived can be achieved. I've got to say, here is a reading that, especially the whole first part of this, the whole first paragraph there, it talks about the animal conditions tasting sweet to man still. My own personal experiences, I'm somebody that's had troubles, I'll say troubles, or just experiences with drug addiction, with alcoholism. And those escapes from the life I had created for myself, for not shooting for the purity, for not shooting and having the ambition for that heavenly life. And we talked about it the other day, I believe, where we tried to get the feel good before the work. And so I created life from selfish ends and selfish perspectives to cover it all up, cover all the suffering I had caused myself up with those animal conditions that can taste so sweet. And because of that, it took me down a very dark path. You know, it says here, it is when impurity turns to suffering that purity is sought. So I'm not sure if it can be sought before that either. It might be sought at different times during that impure living. But until the suffering is actually felt from the decisions of living a selfish and impure life, well, you genuinely desire to live a more righteous life in pursuit of that heaven of heavens that it talks about. The man of aspiration has entered the way which leads to peace. Peace is something I think I've always sought, even through my drinking and my drugging and my codependency and all of these things that I tried to do just to feel peaceful and serenity, peace and serene. It really was the ultimate goal at the end of the day. And those were temporary band-aids and fixes to be numbed to these things that I had created in my life. So when I got to the point I am at, to be able to know that peace and serenity, happiness, joy, contentment comes through right living and pure living, that was a revelation to me. I didn't realize that. So I love how it ends it with that which can be conceived can be achieved. There's a lot of people out there with law of attraction and things like that, but you have to believe these things. You have to be able to picture these things in your mind and have the willingness to pursue them, and to be able to act and carry yourself in a way to bring those things into your life too. There's a lot that goes along with these things. A lot of it comes down to those thinking and the behaviors that you have, and rooting out all the impurities that you can. And that's a path. That's a path not many walk. So, and as the title of this podcast is, The Narrowing Path, Walking That Spiritual Walk. That's kind of what this is about. Because the path gets narrower. You realize what behaviors actually are unhealthy, even though they might have been being done under the guise of good intention. And even others can see them as good intentions, but when it's for selfish ends only. And that's the narrowing path we walk on the spiritual journey. At least that's been my experience. So, anyway, great reading today. Thank you for joining me again. I hope that this has been something that can be of use and addition to your life for anyone that's listening. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Until next time.